I was wondering if there's a specific neurotechnology that you've worked with in your research, whether or not clients have come to you or not, if they're students. Is there a specific technology to help individuals kind of optimize their performance when studying so that they actually learn and keep information for longer?
That's a great question, and one that I will first sort of answer by talking about one of the brain waves. Before we actually get into the specific technologies, one of the brain waves that's super important for actually kind of processing information and actually being able to sort of get that information into long-term memory is theta. Theta is one of the slower brain waves. It's kind of what neuroscientists describe as sort of the bridge between kind of the conscious and unconscious mind. It's kind of a twilight sort of dreamy state between waking and sleep, but theta is actually where a lot of memory consolidation is taking place, making sure that people are producing sufficient amounts of theta, or sometimes working to entrain theta brainwaves can be super helpful for boosting memory. As far as your question for a specific technology, I would tend to go towards audio visual entrainment, which the shortened version of that is just called AVE. What that is basically doing is pulsing tones into the ears, and then along with pulsing kind of a strobing light into the eyes. You're basically wearing these glasses, you've got headphones on, so it's basically entraining you into a specific brainwave pattern with the use of the light and sound. So it's being pulsed at a specific frequency, so your brain then entrains to that rhythm. So for instance, if you wanted to entrain, say, alpha waves, one of the alpha frequencies is 10 hertz. So that's 10 cycles per second. So if you have the pulsing light flashing 10 times per second and the audio tones getting pulsed 10 times per second, that is going to actually entrain your brain into that alpha brainwave state. There's a lot of different frequencies and protocols that you can do. But what's really cool about the company that I use the audiovisual entrainment through, Mind Alive, they've designed specific protocols that are actually designed for students to boost learning and memory. So they have one called Brain Booster, and it's basically it's designed to enhance mental functioning and memory along with learning. And it's based off specific research done by a neuroscientist that found that these specific frequencies, you're basically entraining the left hemisphere of the brain to kind of a slower beta rhythm between 10 to 14 hertz. And then the right hemisphere is getting entrained to a bit faster of a beta rhythm between 10 to 19 hertz. And what that is doing is basically, so it's speeding up the right hemisphere of the brain a little faster than the left. And they've seen with studies that is really beneficial for learning and memory. So that's definitely one I think I really like to use, and one that is awesome for people who are, say, taking a break from studying, and then it can help them kind of consolidate that information quicker. But also just making sure that people, if you're a student listening to this, making sure that you factor in sufficient periods for sleep. Sleep is when a lot of your memory reconsolidation is taking place. And they found that even short naps can significantly boost your memory retention. So if you're making the decision between cramming all night, staying up all night to study for a test, and then running off a couple hours of sleep trying to take that test the next day, that might honestly not be the best strategy when it comes to what we know about the brain. So much of your memory reconsolidation is taking place during sleep. So even if you're not able to get a full night's sleep, just taking a quick nap, in between study sessions can be super helpful at actually making sure that you retain whatever information that you're learning, because there's a transition that you need to be able to take that that information that you're studying and actually kind of solidify those memories so that you can recall them at a later point.